Yes, people, I'm back from the Gunners hiatus. You don't know you're keeping it locked with the real Gunner Lee. And yeah, it's been a while. The last time I talked to my yardy armies when I was telling you guys the keys and the end of the season, what we need to do. We had some big games to actually get through there, and unfortunately, we didn't. The big matchup of Emery and Arteta, you know, your pass always come rearing his old head, isn't me? And that's really what happened this time, you know what I mean? My apologies for that. But yeah, man, people, at the end of the day, man, Arteta didn't do enough to, secure a championship for us in the Europa League and also securing European football. And I think this is the first time in 20 plus years in which Arsenal had no form of European football. So it's really damning right now. And if you had told me earlier if Arsenal wasn't to make any sort of European League, which we didn't last year just because of the FA Cup, we were able to get into the Europa League this year. I'd say that we're not in a good place. That this manager that we have is not necessarily the right one, and to me, it's very tough. You have a season in which players underperform, a lot of injuries, a lot of issues, a lot of background stuff, a lot of drama with Arsenal. So it's very hard to pinpoint exactly what the issue is. Major two is definitely the ownership and the manager right now because it's hard to see, what we're looking for, what we're going to do. It's hard to see a way out for Arsenal right now, especially with other teams, being on our level and even surpassing us. Chelsea has won another Champions League. Aston Villa, I think, basically not even above us, but close on the same level as us. Actually beating us to one of our major targets in Buendia, which is an attacking midfielder. Um, and now we're linked with Xhaka being out, Bellerin leaving the club, which are all great things, which are all fine, but we're not seeing any proactivity in terms of getting our guy yet. And I mean that's what we need from Arsenal. We need to know that hey, Partey definitely need a midfield partner. We've been linked to but as for me, it's just time to go from Xhaka. From the last time Xhaka have a red card and then cusp on the fans. For me, it's been over for Jaka for a long time, but I respect him. I respect his professionalism at times because apparently he must be professional enough to get the ratings and stuff from all of these managers before him. It's not just Arteta who rate him. Emery did. Arsene Wenger did. He played a lot. He's probably the most played player in the amount of times he could play. He rarely find himself on the bench. You know what I mean? So it's just big up to Jaka, in case he actually does go. He's linked to Roma, linked to Italian teams. Was linked to Jose Mourinho, picking him up because Mourinho likes what he does here in the Premier League. And with the Italian league, it's a little bit slow and it should be more to the liking of Jaka, who likes the ball at feet and can kind of pick passes, more timing and less pressure, less pace in that league probably would be the best thing for Jack and his career. But for us personally, we have a lot of things to discuss, people. A lot of things to pan out. Whether or not we're able to get Odegaard, whether or not we're still in for our after the last transfer window, and whether or not our owners are going to spend money. Because we right now we need a major cash injection. We're eighth place in the league and it's not looking like we're going to get any better based on what we have. We have the same sort of team. If anything, it's looking right now that we get worse. I mean, we lose Bellerin, who isn't one of our best right backs now. You could say Chambers is our best right back. But definitely when we lose Xhaka, we've seen that we've not necessarily looked like a better team, even though we cost him so much. So it's a thing where we need to find replacements for Xhaka. We're linked to Neves. We're linked to Basuma, as I said before, and I mean to me, Basuma would be a really good pickup. But then also, it's more than one person we need. We need that. We need possibly Awar as well. I think I'm okay with having Smith Rowe as my creative attacking midfielder. I'm not really sold on Odegaard, but if Odegaard comes back on a loan, that would be fine, but it has to be a loan, and we also get the player that we need there permanently. It can't be us waiting for Odegaard to, you know, come, and then we'll never have the money to pay Real Madrid in order to get him. So there's so many answers, so many questions for Arsenal right now, and we're hoping that we have the right answers, people, because this could just, I mean, it's already this slump that we have as Arsenal. It has started a long time ago, probably 4 or 5 years ago, towards the end of Wenger's reign, and it's not looking good unless we have drastic change, and that's why you see the fans calling for a removal of the owner and stuff, or a removal of the coach, because we need to figure out what our identity is. We need to figure out who are the players that are going to bring us back to where we are before, and if it's actually possible, because these teams like Leicester are getting better, Everton getting better, Villa getting better, and we're just staying there. We're not doing our business early. We say we're in talks, but we're losing out to teams that we're bigger than. We're bigger than Aston Villa. We might not be bigger than them this year, but overall, you ask anybody, we are the bigger club. So there's no way, in terms of money and funding, which it looks like it was, that in terms of money and funding is the reason why we lost out on him. We weren't able to give them a nice enough package. And then the other here said, no, is that Bundia wasn't our main person. So why weren't we going for the main person? So we're going for the second, third person right now. See, it's just a bunch of stuff going on with Arsenal, but I'm still very, boy, I wouldn't even say optimistic right now. I'm still hopeful. Still hopeful that there is some way for us to get back there. I'm hopeful that it is with Arteta, because if it isn't with Arteta, then we're going to go through another managerial change. So we really do want to trust the process. I'm not really trusting the process, but we'll see how this goes. Hopefully there's more reliance on the youth of Joel playing really well on his loan spell. I'd like to see him come back. Saka played really well, definitely in the starting lineup. Smith Rowe. And I want to see what's going to happen with Laka and Aubameyang. These are two contracts that we could possibly sell. There's no way we should sell them to any English Premier League teams. No way at all, unless you're getting 150 million for Aubameyang or 50 million for Laka. There's no way you sell those players in the Premier League. To me, they're still class. They just haven't performed for us this season. And for me, honestly, it's tough. I would, right now, if you ask me and put a gun to my head, I'd keep Lacazette. I keep Lacazette, and I try to get the money I can from selling Aubameyang, but definitely not to a Chelsea, and using those funds to get on a war, to get a Bissouma and a war, and then just bolster our midfield and use the youth. Pepe has been playing well. Martinelli, coming of age, and hopefully he builds off from the Olympics, and Saka hopefully he builds off from the Euro and will keep on going. Joe hopefully builds from the loan spell. But I think it's about time we start looking at our youth prospects and investing in that, because right now, when you look at how Man U looks, look at how Chelsea looking, even looking to further them squad, and Man City, it looks like those teams gonna be around. Those teams' players are in their prime. Going to be about 2-3 years, so why not develop the young players that we have now, and in 2-3 years time, that's the time that we're going to actually make our run for it, because the way that things are set up now with cash strap, we have no ability to make those plays, to get those big players, and those big players don't want to get there. So we need, it's going to be gradual. We have to move steps and steps. Hopefully we can make big steps this season in making the Champions League, making a top 4 finish. But honestly, to me, the best type of goal that you could set out now is for us just to finish in the top 6 again, which is sad to say as an Arsenal fan, but that's the way it is, people. If I hear any more new information on any sort of transfers, signings, any of that sort, I will let you guys know, because you don't know it's all things Arsenal, and you're keeping it locked with the real Gunner Lee. I'm back. More vids to come, and I don't know. Oh.